Hello guys, it's Friday. I'm glad you made it. So, since we survived another week in anticipation of the weekend, today's choice of the soap will be Pere Lucien, which I already started to work a little bit. Because I haven't used it for a while, so it got a little bit dry and stiff. And I'm preloading my Omega S-49 professional brush, and after a couple of seconds it started to load pretty nice, so it was just enough to break that dry surface of the soap. And like always, I will scoop with my finger all the residues, so I remove any moisture from the puck. So if you see it, now it's fairly dry and ready to be reused again. Now this synthetic brush maybe wasn't the ideal for loading, let's say, medium hard soap, but it eventually turned out great, and I certainly wanted to perform only the face lathering, because if you never tried the Pere Lucien and this cologne fougere smell, it's definitely something which will clean your nostrils, because it is refreshing. A very foresty smell, to be honest. At the beginning, in my first couple of shaves with it, it felt like something like your grandpa would smell like, so it took me a while to get used to it, but now it's so foresty and pine trees smelly, like the walking in the woods. The leather is nice, a little bit more slick than thick kind of leather, but with Henson razor, which I'm going to use today again, I think it would work well. And guess what? The Henson suction effect really is a thing. I googled it. It appears that, I found it on Reddit, the people are actually having that feel like the Henson's razor head is sticking to their skin and sort of vacuuming the leather. So it was a very odd thing to learn, and one of our watchers, cheers to you Andrew, actually pointed this out, and I wasn't aware that it was a thing at all, so maybe it's worth mentioning, in case just that you face with the same thing. And today I will have thin and slick leather, so I will check it out if there is any suction feeling from the razor. But as the leather develops, the Omega synthetic is really showing its muscles. It's very nice. It's not like, let's say, commonly designed synthetic brushes like Razor Rock or Yaki. So sort of a mix between the Badger and boar and synthetics. I had only one pure badger cheap brush in 2018, I think. Used it for 2 years, then it shedded completely. But I never had some urge to continue with the badgers. Somehow it just didn't work for me that well. I'm more boar kind of guy. And also the synthetics are my preference of choice as well. So far, rinsing very well. Now, maybe it's not just the suction effect. I guess it's more of this. I'll show you when I rinse the razor. The geometry of the head, which is pretty flat, as you can see. So basically entire this area is pretty flat, so it kind of sticks naturally to your skin. And I'll be taking shorter strokes on my chin. If your razor is not hurting you, then don't hurt yourself on purpose. And I must say that the design of the Henson is pretty glorious, because for such small blade exposures and such small channels of the blade, as you can see, everything is nice and tucked. The draining of the leather is pretty well designed. Not only for this short daily stubble, but I also didn't have clogging issues even with the longer beard, so it almost makes you think they make such a small grooves and it still have so much flow of the leather, so they really thought about a lot of things. Especially how to prevent you from getting nicks. Now I have a small pimple, which is now turning pinkish, but luckily enough I didn't cut it so far. So I guess this will be a nice Friday shave, and hopefully I'll be able to test the Henson on Monday with a little bit more stubble over the weekend, so a little bit of leftovers there, a little bit here, so let's re-leather. Now the good thing about this Omega synthetic brush is, as you can see, it doesn't eat too much leather, and it also doesn't hold it that firmly, so a Razorrock or Yaki will tolerate your water intake, but Omega, it will just absorb quickly and release quickly, so keep this in mind. Still, it is not that big leather eater, so you definitely won't spend too much of your shaving product. You will take just as much as you need. So if you're having some premium soaps, don't worry, you're not going to waste them. I must admit, I'm certainly going much faster than I should or would with some other razors. Also, the strokes should be a little bit shorter. So this is the misleading part of almost any mild razor, and when something is as mild as Henson, it just compounds it. Still a lot of slickness on the soap. No issues on that. This pimple survived the second pass, so that's your proof of how deep the Henson is cutting. So it's just skimming the skin surface, just by much, little by little. And this left over on the left side. And we're done. Now today I'm not going to use any aftershave, because with Pere, Lucien and the Stay Traditional I like this post-shave slickness, and I guess it's due to the essential oils they use in production, so I'm just going to leave it a little bit and maybe add some either Dove or aftershave balm, but so far very nice, very slick, very comfortable shave. So wish you a nice weekend and see you from Monday. Bye.